I travelled over to see Noreen's centre, which at the time I thought was fantastic. As I say, at the time, I think my wife, I think it's right, was in cancer treatment, so I hadn't spared many days to go away from her. So I remember going over there, which makes it all the more interesting. And I was bowled over by what she was doing. She was demonstrating that rehab works. She'd also later on went on to set up a cafe/restaurant next door, which demonstrated that you could teach people new skills, center their rehabilitation in real work and jobs. It's been a lifesaver for many people, and I thought it was enormously good. And I was convinced by her that rehabilitation, particularly residential rehabilitation, is really the best and almost only way to make sure that someone comes off drugs or even alcohol and stays off. And that's the important bit. People can be taken off briefly, but they come back. Without that firm fixing of their character in the programs that she led, it wouldn't happen. And she became a very big mentor to me. And when I went to the DWP, we fought very much and very hard with the Home Office and all the rest of it to say, you don't just want to stick people into so-called treatment where they just get given methadone and they don't commit crime any longer. That's not the purpose. The purpose is to save lives, and she taught me that you can save lives. In her centre, she had GPs coming in so they could treat their health problems and issues when they're trying to give up drugs. She had people who had been addicts involved in it to be able to get people through some of the difficult early days of their rehabilitation. She had post-rehabilitation care, which came in, as I've said also previously, in terms of her cafe restaurant that she ran and got them to do all the work in it. All this sort of stuff was what she was about. She was, from the moment somebody makes a decision to the rest of their lives, Noreen was always there for them, and everybody else that worked with her and for her did exactly the same. It was they got Noreened. Tenacity. If you ever got depressed, you just needed a dose of Noreen. What Noreen did was to remind everybody that the world is shaped by people who are simply awkward and difficult. And you get things done by doing that. And I've certainly been pretty awkward in politics, but I very much felt that with Noreen, it was a very good example of how you can achieve things by not taking no for an answer and just keep going. And she believed fundamentally, if you have a belief structure in your life, then that's what allows you to do almost anything, and you will win out against those who are only in it for the money or for the career. Those who are tenacious, determined, and believe in things, they will win in the end, and Noreen's one of them. She saved lives, and she saved lives without being rewarded for it in any way, except the reward in her life was seeing people come out of the most desperate ghetto of drug addiction and be able to live with their families again and to live lives of fulfillment, which had been written off by everybody else, but not Noreen. Noreen searched for possibilities in everybody. That was her great secret. She would look at somebody, see what they were now, but believe fundamentally that's not who they really were, and they could be changed to be the real person that they should be, and that was her great understanding, and then she worked at it. And by the way, you didn't want to, at that stage, say no to Noreen, because Noreen was going to reshape your life with you or without you, but you were going to get it done, and you were going to be a better person for it, and that was Noreen's effect. Noreen opened my eyes, because all the time I believed in getting drug addicts and others off drugs or alcohol. It always was a puzzle to me as to how you would actually do it. And all our theory of work that I did with Oliver Letwin and co. as we went in with Philippa Stroud, always trying to find that way through, going to see Noreen at her rehabilitation centre in Burton was like a revelation. You suddenly walked into it and there it was. The thing that you believed in theory was now being done in practice. That is the greatest thing that she's done. She showed us it's possible, it can be done. But it's done by argument and by hard work. And most of all, as I said earlier on, tenacity. She never gave up. She never allowed herself to lose faith. For all those who have been saved by her and were at her funeral, many of them stories to tell, they're there because Noreen was there. And she's left a legacy which will be carried on by Kendra and all the others.